Hey, it's Hugh again with another piano lesson. As I've said before, getting to grips with your chords is one of the most important things that any pianist could do. But there's lots of pianists out there who can't put a letter or a name to the chord, but they just recognize what patterns they're playing. And actually, that's what happens regardless of how you learn. You get used to the patterns that you're playing and it becomes second nature. So I'm just going to tell you the kind of patterns that I see when I play piano, and they let me identify what chords I should be playing so I know what notes I'm supposed to be playing nice and quickly. Disclaimer, I'm not going to say that this is the way that everybody sees chords, but this is the way that my brain interprets the patterns on the keys. And if it helps you, then that's fantastic. But just so you know, this might not be for everybody. You should know the chord of C major is made up of C, E, and G. That's the first, the third, and the fifth. And you'll realize that they're all white notes, knowing that C major involves 3 white keys that start on C. That is the way that my brain knows what notes to play. C major, I know that it's white, 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 and it starts on C. Now there aren't that many chords or triads that actually involve 3 white keys. The only other major chords or triads that use 3 white notes are F major, and again it's white with a white note in between, then a third note, and again, and G major as well. So it's G, B, and D. Knowing C major, F major, and G major are made up of white, white, white notes. In my head, that's all that I have to remember in order to play those 3 chords. And actually, you can just play 12-bar blues using those chords. Then you have the pattern that is white, black, white. And the first one of those is D major. So there's D, F sharp, and A. So it's white, black, white. The next one of these that follows this pattern is the next note up. That's E major. So that's E, G sharp, and B. And there isn't another one of these until you get to A major. It's A, C sharp, and E. But again, there's only 3 chords, 3 major chords that follow this pattern of white, black, white. D major, E major, and A major. Now let's do the inverse of that. Let's go for black, white, black. First one of those is D flat major or C sharp major, depending on what you prefer. I prefer D flat major. It's D flat, F, and A flat. Next one of these is E flat major, E flat, G, and B flat. And then there's one more, that is A flat major, A flat, C, and E flat. So once again, there's 3 of these that follow this pattern: black, white, black, D flat major, E flat major, and A flat major. So that's fairly easy, but then we have the exceptions, the standalone ones. And we haven't done the pattern black, black, black yet. The only one that has that pattern, major chord anyway, is F sharp major, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. That's the only major chord with that pattern. And then we have B flat and B. B flat major and B major are the ones that always seem to buck the trend for me, and those are the ones that, when you have to play them, they're the ones that, because they don't have much in common with any other chords, then it can be a little bit tricky to play those sometimes. But all they are, but for B flat, it's B flat, D, and F for B flat major. So it's black, white, white. And then B major, that's B, D sharp, and F sharp, that's white, black, black. So running through those one more time. White, 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 a C major, F major, and G major. White, black, white, D major, E major, and A major. So long as you get the first note right and you know the pattern, then you don't need to think too much about what the other notes are. Black, white, black, D flat major, E flat major, and A flat major. And then the wild cards, F sharp major, black, 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 B flat major, black, white, white, and B major, white, black, black. So in reality, all you have to do is remember one pattern, second pattern, and another pattern. So there's 1, 2, 3 patterns that have 3 chords each, 3 major chords each, and then you have the wild cards. Sadly, it's not as simple as just saying that the minor chords of the major chords all follow the same pattern, but it's not a lot harder. All you have to make sure of is that when you have the major chord and you want to turn it into a minor chord, you take the middle note, that's your third note, and you take it down a semitone, or you flatten it. That means taking it from its note to the next one down, the closest one down. In this case, from the E to the E flat. We've turned this chord from C major into C minor. Now obviously we've changed the pattern from white, white, white to white, black, white. Now it is the case with F major as well that we can follow the same pattern. That's now F minor because we moved the A to A flat. G, same again, the B goes to B flat. So again, they all follow the same pattern. What about our pattern white, black, white for a major chord? So if you've got this black note here, then you can be guaranteed that if you have to flatten that, it ends up becoming a white note itself as well. We go from F sharp to F. So that's D minor. E major gets turned into E minor. Then A major gets turned into A minor. So once again, they all follow the same pattern. D minor, E minor, A minor. Fairly easy so far. Now this is where it changes up a little bit, because if we go to D flat major, and then we flatten our F, it goes to E. So unfortunately, it's the same pattern. It's still black, white, black, but it's another white note. Problem is that if we then go to E flat major and flatten our middle note, it actually goes to a black note, to G flat. So this is where the patterns aren't the same as their major counterparts. So it's up to you whether you remember that the pattern is the same. For D flat major, it's just you're shifting the white note, or when you have to play a D flat minor, you start with a D flat major and just know that you have to flatten the third note. So again, D flat minor, E flat minor, A flat minor. What about our F sharp major that we had? Again, take in our middle note, flatten it, and we change the pattern. It's now black, white, black. B flat major, flatten our middle note, goes from a D to a D flat. That's now B flat minor. B major, flatten the note from a D sharp to a D, and we end up with white, white, black. That's B, D, and F sharp. That's the chord of B minor. Okay, so let's test this by doing a simple chord progression that is a 2-5-1. In this case, we're going to be starting with D minor, then go into G major, then go into C major for twice as long, so for 2 beats. So D minor, we know that that's D major is white, black, white, but D minor is flattening that middle note. So D minor is D, F, and A. Then we need to go to G major. We know that G major is white, 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 nice and easy. And we need to go to C major, which is also white, white, white. And again, D major, D minor, G major, C major. So like I said, if you find that way of interpreting the patterns on your keyboard helpful, please leave a comment, leave a like as well. And again, if you did, then have a look at some of my other tutorials for songs, see if they help you get to grips with your chords. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.